She let a homeless man stay. His secret changes her life. It was the coldest night of the year, and one simple decision was about to change everything. The wind howled through the empty streets, carrying dust and silence with it. Aisha pulled her coat tighter around herself as she locked the door of her small bookstore. It was nearly midnight. Business had been slow for months, and she was already struggling to pay rent. Life had not been easy since her father passed away 2 years ago. The bookstore was the only thing he had left her, and she was trying her best to keep it alive. As she stepped off the curb, she noticed someone sitting beside the streetlight across the road. A man, wrapped in a thin, torn blanket. His beard was messy, his clothes worn out, and his shoes barely held together. People passed him every day. Most didn't even look. But tonight, something felt different. For a moment, she hesitated. Her mind told her to walk away. She didn't have extra money. She didn't even have certainty about her own future. But her heart whispered, "What if that was your father sitting there?" She slowly walked toward him. "Are you okay?" she asked gently. The man looked up. His eyes were tired, but kind. "I'll survive," he said softly. She learned his name was Kareem. He hadn't eaten properly in 2 days. He used to work in construction, but after an accident injured his leg, he lost his job. Without savings or family support, everything fell apart. Aisha felt a tightness in her chest. She didn't know why, but she couldn't leave him there. "I have a small storage room behind my bookstore," she said carefully. "It's not much, but you can stay there for a few nights until you figure something out." Kareem looked shocked. "Why would you help me?" he asked. She shrugged lightly. "Because someone should." That night, she gave him a blanket, some leftover food, and a clean pillow. It wasn't luxury, but it was warm, safe, and that was the beginning. The next few days surprised her. Kareem didn't just sleep and eat. He cleaned the storage room. He fixed a broken shelf without being asked. He even repaired the bookstore's old wooden sign that had been hanging crooked for months. "You don't have to do this," Aisha told him. He smiled slightly. "I want to." Soon, customers started noticing small improvements in the shop. The door no longer creaked. The flickering light was replaced. Even the front window display looked more organized. One afternoon, Aisha walked into the store and saw something that stunned her. Kareem was reading, not just flipping pages, reading deeply. He held a business book in his hands, making small notes on scrap paper. "You like books?" she asked. He nodded. "I used to read a lot before life became survival." There was something about the way he spoke. Calm, educated, thoughtful. He didn't seem like the man people ignored on the sidewalk. Weeks passed. Aisha noticed something else too. Customers felt comfortable around him. He greeted them politely, helped elderly visitors carry their purchases, and even suggested books with surprising insight. Sales slowly started increasing. One evening, while closing the shop, Aisha gathered courage to ask the question that had been on her mind. "Kareem, you don't seem like someone who doesn't have skills. What really happened?" He went quiet. For a long moment, only the ticking wall clock filled the silence. Then he spoke. "My full name isn't just Kareem," he said. "It's Kareem Rahman." The name meant nothing to her at first, but when he continued, her heart skipped. "I founded a technology startup 15 years ago. It became one of the fastest growing companies in the country." Aisha stared at him. "You're joking." He shook his head. "I built everything from nothing. But when my business partner betrayed me, I lost control of the company. Legal battles drained my savings. Stress destroyed my health. When the accident happened, I had nothing left." Aisha couldn't process it. "How could someone like you end up on the street?" He gave a sad smile. "Pride, trusting the wrong people, and believing success can never disappear." Silence filled the room. Everything suddenly made sense. His intelligence, the way he carried himself, the knowledge in his eyes. "But why didn't you tell me before?" she whispered. "Would you have let me stay?" he asked gently. She didn't answer, because she didn't know. Months passed. The bookstore transformed. With Kareem's guidance, Aisha created social media pages, organized small community reading events, and even started online sales. He taught her about branding, customer experience, and simple business strategies she had never considered. Profits doubled, then tripled. For the first time since her father's death, she felt hope again. But one morning, everything changed. A black car stopped outside the bookstore. Two men in suits stepped out. They walked straight toward Kareem. Aisha's heart raced. Kareem Rahman? One of them asked. He stood still. Yes. We've been searching for you. The court case ended last month. New evidence proved the fraud wasn't your fault. Your shares have been restored. Aisha felt the world spin. Shares, she repeated softly. The man nodded. Mr. Rahman is once again a major shareholder in Rahman Tech Industries. It was one of the largest tech companies in the region. Aisha slowly looked at Kareem. He wasn't smiling. He was looking at her. I never wanted the money back, he said quietly. But I won't run from responsibility either. The men handed him official documents. He was rich again. More than rich. Powerful. That evening, Aisha expected him to pack his things. But instead, he stayed seated in the small bookstore. I owe you my life, he said gently. Not because you gave me shelter, but because you treated me like a human being when I had nothing. Tears filled her eyes. You gave me purpose again, he continued. And now I want to invest in yours. Within months, Kareem helped expand a bookstore into a beautiful cultural center. They added a small cafe corner, hosted author events, and even opened 2 more branches in nearby neighborhoods. But this time, it wasn't charity. It was partnership. Aisha became co-owner of a growing bookstore brand. News articles soon shared the inspiring story, but many people never knew the full truth. They didn't know about the cold night, the torn blanket, the quiet act of kindness that started it all. One evening, as they stood outside the newly renovated main branch, Aisha asked him something that had stayed in her heart. If I hadn't walked across the street that night, what would have happened? Kareem looked at the sky thoughtfully. Someone else might have helped, he said. She smiled. Or maybe not. He looked at her warmly. Kindness always returns, he said. Just not always in the way we expect. And in that moment, Aisha understood something powerful. Sometimes, the person you think you're saving ends up saving you.